Hey guys, what's up? Pig Mom here again, and today we're talking about why I don't do floor time with my guinea pigs. So let's get started. So what exactly is floor time? If you're a new or prospective piggy parent, this might be a new concept to you. But essentially, floor time is putting your guinea pigs in a separate enclosure that isn't their cage, filled with treats and hay, and letting them stay in there for at least an hour to explore and get some mental stimulation and overall enrichment in their life. In some variations, some people's floor time enclosure is large enough that their humans can sit in with their pigs in the hope that this will help get their piggies used to and bond with their humans. Another variation of floor time is free roaming, which is exactly what it sounds like. Often piggy parents will isolate a room or large area in their home and add different treats and toys and hides to the area and just let their piggies explore it. I did try and research when exactly floor time became a standard practice. But like a lot of things, it has developed over the last several decades, and pet retailers eventually started selling playtime enclosures marketed to pets, and then content creators eventually started creating guides and tips to hopefully help make floor time successful, safe, and fun for both piggies and their humans. In theory, floor time sounds fantastic and beneficial to your piggies, but we've run into a number of issues with it that made us eventually decide that it's just not a necessity for our pigs. The first issue we ran into were the enclosures that are recommended for floor time through Amazon and major pet retailers are significantly smaller than our guinea pig's actual cage. So we opted to try and section off an area in our home and ran into an issue right away that our living room in either of the homes that we've lived in just hasn't been suitable for our guinea pigs. There's way too many places that they could get stuck under, cords to chew on, and currently there's a large carpet in our living room and we don't want them to pee on it. We were able to find a semi-suitable free roam area in our current home in our kitchen, with minimal things to get stuck under, nothing to chew on, and a lot of open floor space. But putting them in the kitchen caused a lot of extra cleaning since we had to make sure the floor was spotless before setting up an area for them to be in. Cleaning overall was our next major issue. Guinea pigs poop a lot, and while this is completely normal, it does make floor time a lot more work. Since they did poop and pee on the floor, even with towels down, it did mean that we had to clean and sanitize the floor once floor time was over. And this was honestly a lot, to have to mop your floor twice a day, once before to make sure there's no crumbs or little pieces of food or anything that could harm the pigs if they accidentally ingested it. And then, of course, after floor time is over, we were having to re-sanitize the floor. We also find that we just didn't have enough towels and blankets to provide clean ones each day for floor time, since we found they were all getting peed on, since each piggy often sat in a hide in a different area and would end up peeing on it. Whereas in their real cage, they mostly pee in one area, since that's where their hay, food, and water is, so they naturally spend a lot of time there. So it makes it easier for us to change out their top layer of mats in between cage changes. Lastly, the biggest issue we ran into is that floor time stressed out our guinea pigs. No matter how frequently we tried it and tried to make it a routine, we found they just really didn't like it when we made a smaller enclosure, since they had a lot less space, and we found ours really didn't enjoy free roaming. I think the big open space was a little bit overwhelming, especially since for some reason they refused to walk on hardwood flooring without a blanket on it. We did try and set up free roam areas a couple of days a week for a couple of months, but honestly, they never really enjoyed it. Even with veggies and large amounts of hay spread around, they mostly just sit in their hides, and once they got to the point to be visibly stressed, we'd put them back in their own home and they'd settle down pretty quick. Unfortunately, guinea pigs don't really enjoy being in large open spaces, and new spaces aren't really their favorite either. So it isn't really surprising why they don't love open floor time. Overall, floor time isn't for us. The amount of stress and hassle to provide something we were all supposed to enjoy but weren't just isn't worth it. Providing mental stimulation and enrichment is really important to guinea pigs' well-being, but trying to force it and stressing them out in the process just isn't worth it. Their real enclosure is a 2x10 CNC with a 2x2 loft, which is approximately 32 square feet. And now they also have a cave under the loft that they're really enjoying. And we still sit by their cage every day to hand feed, As well, I try and pick all of them up every day. And if I'm working in the chair that's nearest to them, they'll come and they'll just sit with me and watch me work. Anyway, guys, I know this video might have been a little bit controversial, but I definitely want to make a point of saying I'm in no way saying you should not try floor time with your guinea pigs. If you've found a way to make it work, it can be really beneficial for them. But if you're like us and it just doesn't work for you, that's okay too. Just make sure your piggies are getting some extra enrichment into their week, such as hiding veggies around their cages, or around their cage, snuffle mats, piggy-safe toys, and making an effort to hand feed every day are great ways to bond with your piggies and make their life more interesting. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'd love to hear in the comments below if you do floor time with your guinea pigs.